Imagine this, you're spending the weekend at a beautiful lake. It feels like the perfect escape until someone disappears. No splash, no scream, just silence. Every year this happens to real people in Lake Lanier, Georgia, and most are never found. One minute you're floating on water, the next you're gone. Some say it's just bad luck. Others say the lake is cursed. Lake Lanier has claimed hundreds of lives. People drown in calm weather. Boats crash without reason. Bodies vanish without a trace. Some even say they've seen ghostly hands pulling them under. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 most disturbing deaths and unsolved disappearances in Lake Lanier, and we'll show you exactly why some locals refuse to go near the water ever again. If these kinds of mysterious true stories fascinate you, type yes in the comments, and we'll bring you even darker secrets hidden across America. Part 1. The girl who drowned, but no one could find her. She vanished in front of everyone, and the water was calm. It was hot. In 2011, 16-year-old Hannah Truelove was spending the day with friends at Lake Lanier. It was hot. Calm. No storm. No waves. Witnesses say she walked down to the water and simply never came back. Her friends thought she was joking. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. No one laughed anymore. They searched. They screamed. They dove in. But Hannah was gone. Divers arrived within an hour. They searched the exact area where she vanished. Visibility was clear. Still nothing. For 2 whole days, over 20 trained professionals swept the lake floor. 0 results. Until day 3, her body was found 30 meters away, floating upright with no signs of trauma, no explanation, and one detail that still disturbs experts today. Her body had no bloating, no decomposition, as if it had just entered the water. But she'd been missing for 72 hours. The autopsy found no drugs, no wounds. The cause of death? Unclear drowning. To this day, locals say Lake Lanier takes people and gives them back when it wants to. Part 2. The skeletons found inside a car, 30 years later. They weren't missing anymore, but no one knew they were there. In 2017, a local diving team in Lake Lanier was testing new sonar equipment near the west bank of the lake. At 35 feet below the surface, they picked up a strange metallic shape. Curious, they sent down divers. What they found shocked everyone: a rusted 1950s Ford sedan, and inside it, 2 human skeletons. The car had been submerged for over 30 years, and no one, not family, not police, not the public, had any idea it was there. The remains belonged to 69-year-old Delia Parker Young and her friend, 38-year-old Susie Roberts, who went missing in 1958 after leaving a local gas station. Their car was never found. Their names faded from the news until that day. And here's the most disturbing part. Their car was found only 20 feet from a popular swimming area, meaning for decades people swam just meters above 2 skeletons without knowing. The investigation concluded they likely lost control and drove off a bridge. But no one can explain how no one noticed a car that size for over 3 decades in water that shallow. Lake Lanier doesn't just take people, it hides them. Part 3. The woman who vanished on a calm afternoon. They heard no splash, but later that night, they heard her scream. In 2019, 28-year-old Sarah Dunn visited Lake Lanier with her fiancé for a quiet afternoon picnic. The weather was perfect. No wind, no currents, just still water and summer heat. At around 2:15 p.m., Sarah walked down to the shoreline to dip her feet in. Her fiancé turned away for a minute, 1 single minute, to check a text message. When he looked back, Sarah was gone. No sound, no struggle, no waves, just an empty shoreline. Park rangers and divers arrived within the hour. They swept the water. Drones scanned the trees. Dogs followed her scent to the edge and stopped. but there was nothing. And then came the night. Campers nearby reported hearing a woman screaming across the lake. Loud, desperate, but distant, like coming from underwater. No one could find the source. And Sarah's body was never recovered. Locals say it's not the first time they've heard screams at night. And it's not always from the living. Part 4. Pulled under on a jet ski, in front of everyone. She was wearing a life jacket. The water was calm. And still she disappeared. July 2020. Lake Lanier. A crowded summer day, music, families, jet skis everywhere. Among them was 22-year-old Jasmine Hayes, riding behind her boyfriend on a jet ski. Suddenly she fell off. Witnesses say it wasn't a sharp turn. It wasn't fast. She just slipped off into flat water. Her boyfriend immediately turned back, reached out to grab her hand, but says something pulled her down before he could touch her. I saw her eyes, he later told police. She looked terrified, like something had her. Dozens of people watched in confusion. Some dove in. The lake was clear, not deep. But Jasmine didn't surface. Not in 10 seconds. Not in a minute. Not ever. Divers found her body the next morning, 15 feet below, wedged between two submerged tree trunks. And here's the disturbing part. She was still wearing her life jacket, fully secured. How does someone sink while wearing a properly fastened flotation vest? Experts called it an equipment failure. Locals still say it was the lake pulling again. Part 5. The sunken town beneath the lake. Before the water, there was a town, a real one, with homes and graves. Lake Lanier didn't always exist. In the 1950s, the U.S. government created it by flooding over 50,000 acres of land in northern Georgia. That land included homes, businesses, cemeteries, and entire black communities. One of those communities was Oscarville, a thriving, predominantly African-American town. After racial violence and forced displacement in the 1910s, most residents were driven out. Decades later, what was left of the town was buried underwater. But here's what makes it truly disturbing. Eyewitnesses and workers involved in the lake's construction confirmed that not all graves were relocated. Some coffins remained. Some bodies were never identified or moved. Meaning, parts of Lake Lanier were built on top of active burial grounds. Construction crews even reported equipment failing without cause, workers getting injured, and odd shadows during late shifts. Today, divers claim to have seen tombstones under the water. Some say they felt cold spots in warm areas. Others say they've heard voices. Locals believe this isn't just a lake. It's a graveyard, a submerged memory that refuses to stay. Part 6, the unseen force beneath the water. Divers feel it. Boaters report it. And some never make it back to describe it. Many professional divers refuse to work in Lake Lanier. Not because of the depth, but because of what they say they feel. Cold spots in warm water. Invisible pulls on their legs. Equipment that shuts down without warning, even with full battery. One diver, retired Marine Eric Peterson, said, "You'd be swimming and suddenly feel like someone grabbed your ankle. I've never experienced that anywhere else." Fishermen tell similar stories. One local boat mechanic said over 40% of motor malfunctions he fixes come from people who were on Lake Lanier. And often the damage is internal, with no visible cause. And then there are the voices. Campers report hearing whispers near the shoreline at night. Some say they've seen figures standing waist-deep in water, unmoving, only to vanish when approached. In 2013, a YouTube user recorded unexplained light movements beneath the water during a clear evening. The video gained over 2 million views and was taken down within a week. No explanation was ever provided. Whatever is under Lake Lanier, it doesn't want to be seen. But it definitely makes itself felt. Over 700 people have died in Lake Lanier since it was created. Some vanished in plain sight. Some were found years later. And others were never found at all. Coincidence? Or something darker beneath the surface? If you've ever been to Lake Lanier or know someone who has, we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and type Lanier if you want us to go deeper into this lake's secrets. And if these true stories fascinate you, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because next time, we're diving into another terrifying case. A U.S. town that disappeared overnight, and no one talks about it. Stay curious, stay safe, and stay far from the edge of the water, especially in Georgia.